Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Lam here. I'm getting into the office a little bit late today. I actually want to work on my office setup a little bit. This has been a mini project that I've been working on for the last couple of days. You may have noticed some changes on the studio setup, but this is something that I found some time to do in the last couple of days, and I'm hoping to actually get a better setup overall and trying to make some improvements to it. So I'm in for a couple of hours. Hopefully I can get some major improvements done and yeah, see where we are at the end of the day. For those of you who've been watching the Fuji Fridays for quite a while now, you'll probably have noticed a lighting change. This is something that I've been tinkering with for quite a few days. Just had some free time and I finally got the light that I want over here to kind of just really darken the background and really present myself really well, and also light my shoulders and my head so that I separate really well. These are things that I'll be toying with. Today I'm actually going to be changing out my camera. Going to be adding the battery grip because I need the audio input, which means I need to be using a different cage. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I want to get the camera audio into my computer, and the only way to do this is to use the headphone jack on the battery grip to send it to my computer. This way I can easily either sync audio or just use the audio directly from the screen capture that I get from my computer, which would save me a lot of time. A lot of this is about workflow, but it's also about getting the best audio quality possible. I've always said before that if you're going to be doing any type of YouTube videos, you need to make sure that your audio quality is up to snuff, because a lot of people out there will forgive bad video, but they will not forgive bad audio. So that's something that you really need to think about. I probably spend more time cleaning up audio than I do videos. The footage from the Fuji cameras are really great. I don't have to do any color grading. Everything works well, but the audio that I'm using, because of the wireless lab setup that I'm using, there's a lot of background noise, there's a lot of hiss. So what I end up doing is I have to actually go out there, clean it all up, and make sure it's nice and ready to go before I can do anything else. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. So after all of that work, what I realized is that I actually did not need the battery grip. What's going on here is that because I have the small HD and I have it connected via the HDMI port, the audio is actually being sent out via HDMI, and there is a 3.5 millimeter jack on the small HD. I can just go ahead, connect to that, and then route that into my computer. Seems to be working really well. The only thing that's really annoying is that now I have 3 volume settings to play with. I have the volume output on my XH1, I have the volume output on my small HD, and finally I have volume controls on my computer. So I'm trying to find the right balance of what audio settings I need for each one to try to get the cleanest audio out. Unfortunately, these Sony lavalier mics, while they're really good and I like how they sound, they do have a very high noise floor. In other words, there is a lot of background hiss that I do have to work out. It's just that these are the ones that I have. I have had them for years and they continue to work really well, so really not going to replace them, but that's just something that I have to deal with. I just find it amusing that after all of that work, hours of work, I found out there was actually a quick way around it. This is just one of these things that you find out when you're actually working with all of this equipment. Now, it is important to note that audio is super important and is actually worth figuring out, because while video is YouTube, the audio is what's going to determine on whether people tune you out or not. Because if you have really bad audio, a lot of people will just stop listening and turn off your video. So video is really important in terms of the setting that you put yourself into, but you really need clean audio and you need a way to do it and process it very nicely in order to make your videos sound, halfway decent. Now, having done all of that, I actually have a quick test that I'm going to be running. So I'm going to have a side-by-side of the audio that's being recorded into the XH1 and then audio that's actually recorded on the computer using XSplit Broadcaster. I'm not sure if you can tell the difference after processing the audio, just making sure that it's, the same noise level and also normalizing the audio. I think they sound pretty closely the same. Go ahead and listen to both of them. Tell me what you think. Do you see a difference between these two audio files? Because I really don't notice a difference. Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Lam here. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and test the audio setup. This is a quick test where I have my Fuji XH1 connected to my small HD. in from my small HD. I'm actually going to go ahead and send out audio from my small HD to my computer. This is pretty roundabout way of actually doing something, but we'll see if it actually works out really well or not. Hey, how's it going everyone? This is YLAM here. Right now I'm going to go ahead and test the audio setup. This is a quick test where I have my Fuji X-H1 connected to my small HD. And from my small HD, I'm actually going to go ahead and send out audio from my small HD to my computer. This is pretty roundabout way of actually doing something, but we'll see if it actually works out really well or not. Now, it would have been really easy for me to just cut out the parts where I was just screwing up, or, figuring out that I actually didn't need to do all of that work and just kind of cut to the very end saying, hey, look, it all works, and, I have something to prove that I've done something today. But I think it's actually pretty important to, remember that a lot of times when you're going through, trying to change setups or trying to learn something, there are going to be a lot of times where you do a lot of things that aren't worthwhile, but you're going to learn something while you're doing it. And I think that's the important part. So I did waste a few hours doing this, but at the end of the day, I did get something accomplished, and that's all I really care about.